Hi, my name is Taylor Von Hausen, and welcome to my Systems Thinker talk. Brian Carey Goodwin was a Canadian mathematician and biologist who was a professor emeritus at the Open University in the United Kingdom. He is a founder of theoretical biology and biomathematics. He is responsible for introducing the use of complex systems and generative models in developmental biology. Brian Goodwin was born in Montreal, Quebec in 1931. He studied biology at McGill University and then emigrated to the United Kingdom under a Rhodes Scholarship for studying mathematics at Oxford. He received his PhD at the University of Edinburgh. In 1983, he became a full professor at the Open University in Milton Keynes until he retired in 1992. Along with other researchers, he became a major figure in the early development of mathematical biology. In 1965, two French biochemists named François Jacob and Jacques Monod won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for the development of a model concerning genetic control of enzyme and virus synthesis. In other words, they developed a model for how the levels of certain proteins in a cell are controlled. In their model, the manufacture of proteins is prevented when a repressor, encoded by a regulatory gene, binds to its operator, a specific site in the DNA sequence that is close to the genes encoding the proteins. Study of the control of expression of genes in the lactose operon provided the first example of a system for the regulation of transcription. Shortly after François Jacob and Jacques Monod developed their first model of gene regulation, Goodwin proposed the first model of a genetic oscillator, showing that regulatory interactions among genes allowed periodic fluctuations to occur. Shortly after this model became published, he also formulated a general theory of complex gene regulatory networks using statistical mechanics. In its simplest form, Goodwin's oscillator involves a single gene that represses itself. The simplest formulation considers three variables, x, y, and z, indicating the concentrations of RNA, protein, and end product respectively, which generates the negative feedback loop. The equations are shown on screen. Goodwin's model and its extensions have been widely used over the years as the basic skeleton for other models of oscillatory behavior, including circadian clocks, cell division, or physiological control systems. Additional contributions that Goodwin made include his work in the field of developmental biology, where he proposed that morphogenic fields could pattern and shape embryos. In this way, he linked geometry and biological development through mathematical formalism. He was also a strong advocate of the view that genes cannot fully explain the complexity of biological systems. In that sense, he became one of the strongest defenders of the systems view against reductionism. He suggested that nonlinear phenomena and the fundamental laws defining their behavior were essential to understand biology and its evolutionary paths. His position within evolutionary biology can be defined as a structuralist one. To Goodwin, many patterns in nature are a byproduct of constraints imposed by complexity. Brian Goodwin was a key figure in applying systems thinking to biology. Due to his work, he became a major figure in the early development of mathematical biology, and he applied systems thinking to many different areas of biology. His use of statistical mechanics in modeling gene regulatory networks, as well as his work in modeling biological development, are excellent examples of what can be accomplished with systems thinking. His view on gene expression and evolutionary paths have been guided by systems thinking, and Brian Goodwin will go down in history as an excellent example of a systems thinker.